Hey guys, it's Jeff, and today Apple surprisingly released iOS 12.1.2 quite quickly after releasing iOS 12.1.1. And also, quick note here, we did have to update manually through the developer portal, so we didn't get an over-the-air update. We did have to use iTunes to update, so just in case you are wondering why this update isn't coming to your device, it should come in just a few minutes, hours, whenever Apple makes it available over the air. Now, just to prove that we do in fact have the official version here, we'll go to the About screen and you can see that we do have the build number of 16C101, and that is the official build number for iOS 12.1.2. So let's move on to checking out what's new in this version of iOS. Okay, so we saw a really big file size for the initial and only beta that was at 2.7 gigabytes. And with that file size, we were expecting to see some really new features, but instead we actually saw some bug fixes and performance improvements. Now, the biggest bug that we found fixed was actually the connectivity bug that quite literally turned off data for sometimes limited apps, and then in other scenarios, the entire iDevice. So basically, there were a lot of users out there with iOS 12.1 and iOS 12.1.1 that were unable to use their data whatsoever. Now, we also narrowed down this issue to basically iOS not allowing for carrier updates, and this was causing updates from Verizon, T-Mobile, and other carriers to not be able to push updates to phones, and those phones would not run properly. Everything seems to be good now, and users out there shouldn't be experiencing these issues from here on out as long as you update to iOS 12.1.2. Now, when we checked out performance, it was really good. So good that it actually was outperforming iOS 12.1.1. So that was really nice to see, and overall iOS 12 and its UI experience is almost flawless right now. There are no bugs, stutters, or anything that we can really see that ruins the experience, and overall battery life is as well doing really good. Now, as far as everything else goes, like new features, we did see just a couple of changes, and one was for the Apple Watch and the ECG feature. Before, when you ran an ECG test and then were able to give a description of how you were feeling, this menu is very transparent and not so organized, and with this update you can now see that Apple has added lines to differentiate the options that you have to make them more clear. Also pertaining to the Apple Watch, now in the app for iPhone, when you go into the heart menu, you can see that the view recorded ECGs and health once you have started to make those recordings. Now, past those very two minor changes, we didn't really see anything else major to report back on, so it looks like that basically this update was for bug fixes and performance improvement, and then also to improve on some of the new features that they introduced in iOS 12.1.1. So not anything too much past that. So guys, that was the iOS 12.1.2 update. It's definitely lackluster without any really new features, but it does improve on performance, speed, and also takes care of those pesky bugs. If you want to see iOS 12.2 betas, make sure to get subscribed because we are very likely going to see those betas either tomorrow or within the next week, and hopefully we'll be seeing some new features there and all that jazz with those updates. So guys, thank you all for watching. Make sure to stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next video.